Hey guys, it's King Steph, and thanks for playing.
Southern.
Is you sit? I mean, I only see your neck right here, but I get what you're doing though. Keep it though, because probably when the camera does it, I think what happens is it pulls it back and forth. We're gonna figure it out one day. But welcome to this episode of Pay the Toll Boxing, sponsored by Thanks for Playing, the good folks. Remember, don't fight, box. And all of that, I am Foreman.
I'm Twin.
And boy, we got a lot of things to cover and to come back to, my boy. Like y'all saw some of the other clips, we went to the local show in Houston. Please support local boxing. I think that's where we can find our future stars and guys to build their records. What else you got?
Piggyback off what you said, it was a good time. Like, you get to see a lot of young up and coming fighters. You see talent level differences. You can see who you think might be something like a player in the game in the future. Like, you get to see a lot of stuff and how it's ran on a local level instead of just
bro. We saw a lot. We saw a lot at one time. We saw 2 pro debuts. We saw guys keeping their building record going, and we saw a guy return as well. And then one of the guys who on the card was also, they're framing him to be kind of the next guy out of the city. So a whole bunch of stuff to cover. We had a chance to talk to former fighters, got a chance to talk to the commission, a member of the commission. Man, such a good thing to cover. I'm glad we got a chance to really dive into. I think we got to keep doing more dive-ins though, for sure. I think that's good for everybody. But with that being said, my boy, here we go for episode 19, round 1. All right, so this past weekend while we were at the fights, we had a bunch of boxing to cover, bro. So I think let's go to the ESPN card first. First and foremost, shout out to the Thanks for Playing athletes that we got. Let's get to the first one. Let's get to Bruce Shu Shu Carrington. Finished his fight with a 3rd round TKO where the guy was just moral of the story, just did not want no more in his first 10-round fight. What are we going to do with Shu Shu?
I hope they just keep building. Get him a fight with somebody in the back half of the top 10, maybe 7, 8, 9 range.
That's what we would hope, but the problem is now that Fulton is looking to fight Oshaki Foster, now they're looking to put Vargas and Shu Shu for the vacant WBC belt. WBC said they will strip Fulton if that happens. So, what do you think about that? Is it too early or is it right on time because of his age?
I still think it's too early.
I think so as well, but we'll wait to see. Next up here, we got young Tiger Johnson, now this is a good job of somebody building and not trying to rush their stature as he's building. Yes, he's getting older, but the thing is Tiger Johnson is getting the rounds in. He's filling out his body. He started out at first at 140, but now he's fighting at 147 in welterweight, and he looked very good and strong with his new coach and the body shots he landed at the end of that fight. What did you see from Tiger? I mean, per usual, he's just a great boxer.
Sharp. He did exactly what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. His punch combos, and that boy is on point.
Yeah. I don't think there's nothing wrong. Tim Bradley was doing some criticizing about how he felt Tiger should have pressed a little harder. His style doesn't dictate that, but his mentality is he's a very tactful fighter. He's so good. There are little things where he's just good. Fantastic, just good. In the main event of that card, we had the rematch of Sandy Ryan and Mikaela Mayer. Unfortunately, Miss Ryan did not get the nod. Mikaela came out and fought a hell of a fight, bro. I think that's just the best way to put it. Came out ready for it. They fought like dogs for sure. The first fight, it was a close fight, but Mikaela did a good job of putting a stamp on that. For both fighters, what do we got to see now?
Uh, I'm not sure about Ryan, but for Mayer, I'll say the same thing about her that we both said years ago about Bud Crawford. Do not let him get comfortable in that weight.
Their weight class. Yep.
They let Mayer get comfortable in that weight. I don't think
She's gonna
nobody.
stay right there, and I don't. It's gonna be very tough to beat her.
Hey man, because you could tell from the first fight to the second fight. Like in the first fight, she kind of gassed out in the later rounds.
That's it.
In this fight, she held her
You
own
over
more
the time.
real.
You
So
over time. You're over time.
it don't matter.
All right, man. Round two this weekend. Let's round off this card. Abdullah Mason returns, but not the way that we were looking forward to. His opponent ended up pulling out this week. It kind of sucks because we were looking at Abdullah to get, another tough. Let's find another really tough journeyman to get himself some rounds in to see if he looks ready for what's been in front of him, like I've always said. But we wanted to see a tough, and he doesn't. But the opponent pulls out. Now we get a chance to find out if he's really a professional at this point, because the last minute changes are pretty dangerous.
Right, right. So we'll see what him and his team has for as far as adjustments and with the selection of a new opponent.
Yeah, uh, real curious there on that. So you know, it is what it is. This is boxing. That's all we can say about that. This is boxing, and these things happen. Also on this undercard is our pay the toll favorites of the 118-pound division, Steven Navarro, as he continues to build upon his record and continue to build upon his skills. Um, this is a 6-round fight for him. How much more can we be entertained? Can we continue to be entertained? Or for what we've seen so far, do you think opponents are going to try to figure it out in a sense?
I mean, I think they'll try, but I don't think they'll be able to. I think he last time he was in the ring, I think was December. So
I think I was at that fight. I think I was not mistaken. Yeah, I think I was there. Yeah. Oh, the undercard of Valdez and and Alvarate.
for someone like him, that's a little minute for him. So he's
That
gonna
is. That's a stretch. We would want to see him a little bit sooner than that.
yeah. So he's gonna be hungry. So I don't think his opponent. Hey, good luck to you, man.
That's all I can say for that. Now, to finish off this card, the main event, Richard Torrez and Guido. These are two heavyweights who are at the preface. They're at the precipice. Sorry, my God, of trying to figure out where they're going to go next. Guido's already lost his fight against Jogba, and Richard Torres is trying to get somewhere where he's trying to say, "Hey, I am not the amateur style that y'all see. Or watch me fight the bigger guys and see what happens." And now here we are, I get a chance to see what happens when he fights the bigger guys. How do you see this so far?
I see it the same way. A lot of the older heavyweights are on the back end of their career, so it's trying to see which of the younger fighters are going to step up.
10
We thought
seconds.
some of them that would, and they didn't. So we'll see if Richard got it.
Yep, I'm
Pull it
pretty
through.
excited to see if his style adjustments can be made. Yeah, look at you finishing. All right, simply here, round three.
You
We
did
had
it.
also, huh?
You're doing it again.
Doing it again. I did. Oh well, they're gonna have to see it today. But there are no notes. It's really just who we talking about. That's all I want people to know. Um, Zepeda and Farmer for the rematch that happened this past weekend. Uh, Another good fight, and it's kind of the same thing for Zepeda. He started off strong, and again, Farmer's veteran showed up, and they kind of took a knockdown away from Farmer that should have been a knockdown.
Yep.
They really did, and they keep showing us. The thing is to show us the same thing. Zepeda, I see why Oscar got him on the witness protection program, because those late rounds, yeah, he throws a lot of punches and it's cute or whatever, but those late rounds, he is not there. He's just I don't know how else to say it. He's just not there with us.
Nope. I was impressed with Farmer.
Oh!
I
That was a
was,
good one. That was a
yeah,
good one.
impressed with Farmer. So
That was
to
a
give
good one.
him his flowers, Farmer's is a boxer that people wrote off years ago.
Long time ago.
Years
Long time ago. And
was
nobody wanted to fight Farmer either.
right.
Even when he had the IBF belt for all those stretches. I think he went like 10 defenses straight or something like that, 10 to 12. Nobody wanted to fight that man.
Yep.
So
And
Farmer will always get kudos and credits from me as long as I'm standing because you know why? He had the belt and he dared everybody to come take it and nobody did until he did lose. But nobody was and then everybody was scared to still fight him after that.
and
So
like I said, he was supposed to be done years ago. And
y'all
for
long time. Long
and
time.
men have been put on those two performances, and some would say he should be he should have what Zepeda have.
He should have been next up for his next fight. Simple
He,
as that.
uh,
But since Zepeda won, I guess, where does he fit in at 135 with Keyshawn, Shakur, Javante, and at this point, even Abdullah Mason, bro?
I say this respectfully, he does not fit in.
Mm,
He doesn't. Um,
mm.
I would Oscar not gonna put him in there with nobody you named. He going in that ring with no time soon.
How long can they keep doing this?
I don't know, but we gonna see.
Because I mean, the man was number one for all the weight, all the categories for every single belt, and he ain't went to get none of them. So that's on him and Oscar to figure out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All righty. So, big shout out to Jake Paul. I know I've done a lot of criticizing of Jake Paul in the past for some other things because that's boxing. Uh, However, Jake Paul has leveraged his stature in social media, stature with the internet and things like that. And there's a big kudos. I'm gonna give him a clap, a round of applause because he is continuing to try to elevate women's boxing. Um, with Amanda Serrano as they're both working together in business together to try to get women's boxing together. And shout out to Amanda Serrano for not being a hater and also being smart and bringing Alicia Baumgartner up on the MVP label. I
Yep.
really want to give a kudos to Jake Paul for that, bro. I think that's I think that's fair. I think that's wholly fair because that's good for it's good for women to see themselves uh, on big platforms. It's good for little girls who currently are fighting. The same way, we needed to see women's basketball. Same thing. So
Yep.
kudos to Jay Paul for that. Um, Moving along, we got the announcement yesterday, the official announcement yesterday. Jermall, Charlo, and Caleb Plant both returned May 31st in the Michelob's Ultra Center at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. All right, that sets up the fall fight between those two. If for those of you who don't forget, let me insert the video right here as we speak. Jermall Charlo got slapped by Caleb Plant not too long ago, well, a couple years ago now, for, like Caleb Plant said, he shouldn't have pulled on the beard. And he did, but nonetheless, the return of Jermall Charlo, what are we looking at?
I'm just looking at him to get through the fight. I just want him to make weight, get to the fight, perform well, and get into the next camp. Move on. That's all I'm looking for. Because I know Caleb is gonna do that. Like it's no.
Consummate professional. Caleb is a consummate professional.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't worried about Caleb getting to the fight. He gonna show there and show up, regardless of what happens to everything. What are we looking forward to from Caleb Plant? Since we now had a chance to see another version of Caleb Plant the last time we saw him against McCombie. We had never seen Caleb Plant fight inside like that. So now that the game plan to me changes a little bit for opponents going in to fight Caleb Plant. Because at first it was he gonna dance around the ring, and now it ain't looking like that no more.
I mean, that just shows that he's versatile. So
Hey,
Like I
Like our good folks at Thanks for Playing says, order this shirt right here. There's levels to this right here. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
Caleb Plant showed different levels.
And like I said earlier, to Caleb's opponent, respectfully,
Good
good luck.
luck. All right. And this weekend, coming up right here also, we got Joey Spencer versus Tszyu. All right. How we feeling about Tszyu's return?
I don't know.
Again.
I don't know. This
Okay.
of all the fights we mentioned and talked about, this is the fight I'm looking forward to watching the most. Just
For both of them.
right, but especially for Tim because of what Tim was and what he
Yep.
was supposed to be doing right now
Yep.
versus where he is and where he'll go if he lose.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm looking.
What does he do if he loses? Is the real question.
I
That's
have
that's that's a real question. What does he do if he loses? Does he just stay back in Australia and keep fighting, or what do we do?
either that or you got to blame the weight class and go to 160.
Is it the weight class, or is
No,
it just him?
you know boxers sometimes when they lose they say I was weight drained, I can't make the weight anymore, and they just
Right. So moving on along with that, this Saturday we have Filip Hrgovic versus Joyce in a battle of another heavyweights, two guys who are coming off their losses and stuff like that. Hrgovic, however, does not have the worst loss because I mean losing to Daniel Dubois is not necessarily bad, bro. That Dubois is doing his thing right now. Now, however, Joyce has his last fight against Chisora and all of that, and he hasn't been sounding great. The Juggernaut has not been the Juggernaut.
mm-mm.
So, with that being said, how do you feel about that?
I don't really know what to expect.
I
Not
don't, e-
from Joyce, I have no clue.
I don't either. I really don't either. Yeah, I'm pretty curious. I think Filip Hrgovic is going to win because that facade where Joyce did have once Zane took it out is kind of pretty much it. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Um, so yeah, I think that's it. And to round off this last round, the man who seems to can't get him and his team together to find the pen or no contract or email sent or whatever, Janibek fights. Janibek gets his fight at home this Saturday. Um, he should come out with a win. Simple as that, right? After this, who is he going to fight? Is he going to fight anybody at 160?
No.
Are we confident?
No.
Well, all right then. We not confident. Sorry to you. Not Janibek. You know you have skills. We just want to see it. Simple as that. With that being said, this wraps up episode. I know we did 5 rounds. We do not do 5 rounds. 5 round fights are not real. But however, we wrapped up this episode of Play the Toe Boxing again. Um, Shout out to Thanks for Playing and all of that. Shout out to the boys and all of that. Keep us going. And Twin, what you wanna finish it off with?
Man, keep watching, keep subscribe, watch, share with your people, give us
Yeah, man. Like,
some.
share, subscribe.
We
Like,
like,
share,
like
subscribe.
I like views.
We love views. Like, share, subscribe, man. Shout out to that. And shout out to the ring girls, who did all our intros for us. So I'll put a different ring girl each intro. So shout out to the girls. Appreciate y'all. King, Steph, Miss Swaggy P, Miss Stone, Noelia. Shout out to y'all. And shout out Cliche for giving us the drop. That's all. I gotta get all the homies to get us some drops. We gotta get all the homegirls to get us some drops in. That way everybody can just be everywhere. So see y'all later.